Okay, so we are going to start with our article of the week that we got Wednesday. Yes, is due on Tuesday because we are not here next Wednesday. It's Thanksgiving break. Yes, so Tuesday, our article of the week is due Tuesday, so work on that over the weekend. We have a nonfiction test that's coming up on Tuesday as well. The half slip of paper that you picked up, 1 through 5, it tells you what is going to be expected on that test, okay? So this is your little study guide. You will be given an article. So for number 1, context clues to determine the meaning of unfamiliar words or phrases. We do those on Wednesday. Every Wednesday we find a word, right? And we say, use your context clues. What does this word mean? So all of these, 1 through 5, we have been doing in class. So there won't be a surprise. You won't be shocked. You just have to study, okay? Make sure you're familiar with all these 1 through 5, okay? Okay, so our learning target. Who would like to read our learning? We have 2. Hallie, read the first one for us.
I can identify text features to better comprehend the text.
Okay, who wants to read our second one? Cameron, read it loud.
I'm supposed to read informational text to identify issues.
Okay, so for our class opener, what is the purpose of text features? I can statement. Especially in nonfiction, books, articles, etc. So who has the answer to this? Landon?
To help us understand what is being said.
Good. Okay, so our answer was kind of on the board, wasn't it? I can identify text features to better comprehend a text. So the purpose of text features are to help you better understand what's being said within that text and what's going on. So today we're going to be looking at an article that you all picked up, the 211 billion and so much to buy. So grab this article. So for number 1, that's up here on the board, our text feature scavenger hunt. What we are going to do is look at this article. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. These are features. We're not looking for these individual words. So heading, we're not looking through the article to find that word. We're looking for what represents this word. Okay, so look at this article and say, oh, where is a heading? This part is a heading. Write heading or draw an arrow to what you're talking about, okay? So the scavenger hunt, we're going through this article, and we're going to find all of these that are in purple. Special font says ×2, so there will be 2 places. There may be more where there's a special font used. You can label those, but for all of these other ones, all of the other ones that are in purple are used just once. So you'll go through, find the title. If you can't find the title, skip it. Skip to the date line. Can't find it, skip to the heading. Find the ones you know, and we will discuss these afterwards, okay? So go ahead, scavenger hunt. You can use these words as a word bank, so to speak, okay?
I want you all to think. I want you to think about it.
if you wish. Underline, circle. Guys, you will flip over to the back. Some of these will be found on the back as well as the front, okay? So front and back. Flip it over, look all around.
We're gonna go over it together and we'll see all the components. We want to try first. See what you think first. I wanna know what you know. Huh? What's the next one? What's the next one on your list? What's the next one on your list? Keep moving down.
Okay, I think we are ready to move on. If you did not get them all, that is okay. We're going to go over them together. If you do not have them labeled correctly, what should we do? Change it, yeah. If it's not labeled correctly, just change it and label it how it's supposed to be labeled, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. All right, so here is our beginning. So 211 billion and so much to buy. That is our title. And it's also in a special font. The font is different than the rest of the article down here. So we would consider that a special font. Our subtitle, American Youth and the new big spenders. So our subtitle. Our subtitle appears below our title. Kind of think of a submarine. That was one that we had used earlier. A submarine goes below water. Yeah, good. It goes below water. So our subtitle and our title are buddies, but our subtitle goes below our title. Okay? And then big spenders right here is going to be some of our bold words. Whenever we're typing in a document on Microsoft Word, we can bold. We can make words bold so they stand out. We can also make words. What's this? What are these? What are these?
Italics.
Good, okay, good. Italics. So those are italics. We can make words bold, and we can also italicize. Okay, so here, who can tell me what this one is? Kimmy.
Dateline.
The date line. Why is this called the date line? Tyler? It's a date. This is when the article was written. That's when it was wrote. October 26, 2011. So we call that one the date line. We have one other thing I'm going to add to this. If we had an author, we do not have an author for this article, but if we had an author, it would be called, so if we had an author, it would be called a byline. Why would it be called a byline? Can anybody guess? Yes, Micah?
Because it would be by the author.
By the author. So I would write this down because this is a text feature you all may see on your quiz or on your test that you'll be having next week. So our date line has the date. It tells us when. And our author would be considered a byline who it's by. So those are pretty easy to remember, right? Okay, sounds good. All right. Let me paper towel. Okay, so we scroll down here to youth and media. What does that say? Youth and media is, yes. A heading. Why would they put that there? What is the use for a heading? Why would we use a heading?
So you know what it's talking about?
So we know what's talking about. What's above the heading? What it's talking about?
Below it.
What's below the heading? Good, okay. So our heading, youth and media, is letting us know what we're going to be reading about under that, yes.
Could it also be bold?
Yes, it's hard to see up here. Our copy didn't come through as great. If those words are bold on your article, you can use, yes, they are bolded, so you can say bold there too. So you can use bold. Okay, so our next one that's up here is what do we see?
Caption.
A caption. Okay, what about that caption? What does that caption tell us? Why is it there? What's its purpose? To what? What's its purpose? Kimmy, what's its purpose?
Tell us what the graph is about, or what the picture is about.
Yeah, to kind of tell us what we've got going on down here. These visuals also show how tweens and teens spend money. We could look at that without this caption, but the caption, what is the caption doing? Helping us what? What do we say? Yes, Madeline.
Help explain what the picture is.
Okay, good. So that caption, going back to our language launch, is helping us understand what's below it. So captions help us understand. Okay, so this I like to call a big thought bubble. What is that? What is this? It's up here. Okay, so title of our table or chart. We can call it a table, we can call it a chart. It's either potato. We can call it a table or chart, doesn't matter. Okay, so within our title, we have some special font going on. This font is different than what's up here. So what are these? What do we say these little things were? Labels. Good. Good. So these are labels. How helpful would this chart be if we did not have those labels? Would it be helpful? Would we even know what all of these numbers represented? We would have no clue if it represented who wore blue socks on Monday, who wore a white shirt on Tuesday. We would not have any idea what it meant. So we need these labels to explain to us. Okay, what about this one? Who can tell me what this one is and how we use this? tell us? Okay, it's the source.
It tells us where we got our information from.
Okay, it tells us where it got our information, where we got our information from. Why do we need to have that? What's the purpose? When we write in here, we talk about using sources if we use others' ideas.
We don't want to take other people's ideas.
Yeah, if we took someone else's ideas and used it as our own, what's that called?
Copyright.
Plagiarism.
Plagiarism. Good. Who said that? Tyler, was that you? Good job. Good. Oh,
She said plagiarism. They both said it.
okay, good. I heard it a couple times. So our source and our citation helps, it keeps us from plagiarizing. So whoever wrote this article said, this is my source where I got this information from. I don't want to use these and say these are my own ideas because they're not. This is just some information I took from somebody else. And I want to give them credit where credit is due. Okay? So does that help with the source and citation? The after reading, that was not labeled. That was just there for us whenever we need to use it. What we are going to do now, let's switch back to this. Okay, I want you all to get your paper with your questions. We're going to answer these questions before we even read through this article, okay? So under Unit 2, number 1. Who wants to read number 1 for us? Loud, 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 loud. Bethany, read that.
You see some form of advertising around you every day. What catches your attention?
So what catches your attention? Let's talk. I want to see hands. What catches your attention when you see advertising? Pictures. So when we talk about advertising, what is a word that is mostly the same as advertising? What do we think of? Other than, oh, that's an advertisement. What do we say? We're watching TV. What comes on? A commercial or an ad. Okay, so when we think of advertising, we're thinking of commercials. Okay, so what catches your attention? What did you say caught your attention? Pictures. So pictures catches your attention. Yes. Colors. So colors catch your attention. Wait, what else catches your attention? Bold words. So the words they use, how it comes across. Hallie?
Persuasive appeals.
Persuasive appeals. Good, good. So in advertising, would we consider advertising a persuasive technique, an informational, or an expressive?
Persuaded.
Persuasive. Why?
Because they're trying to persuade you to do something.
They're what? Tell everybody.
They're trying to persuade you to do something.
They are. They're trying mostly to do what? To buy something. Good. Most of the time, our commercials are using persuasion to get you to buy something. You see it on TV and you say, oh, Mom and Dad, Mama, Papa, Uncle John, Grandma Joan, I have to have that. I have to have that. And usually with it coming up Christmas time, you're probably going to get that. If it's not something outrageous, right? Okay, so for number 2, I want you to circle television, internet, print, or radio ads. Which ones catch your attention the most? Just circle. Which one? Is it television, internet, print, or the radio? If you have 2 that you really, really like, you can circle 2. Tell me why. So, what about television? Who circled television? Why, Bryce?
Because it's entertaining.
It's entertaining. So, a visual. It's a nice visual. It's something to watch. Okay, Hallie?
Like you said, it's a visual aid to see.
Oh, good. A visual aid. Awesome. Okay, what about internet? Zach, did you circle internet? Was your hand up or maybe not? No? Okay. Landon, internet. Why do you like the internet ads?
Because like they Usually I'm on the phone and stuff, but then whenever there's commands that you can press the.
Oh, okay, so he's usually on his phone. And whenever he's on his phone, they come up, and sometimes you click X, but sometimes you think, oh, that looks kind of cool. I might like that. I might buy that.
Some of them you can like play the game before you download it.
Okay, so some of them, kind of as a marketing technique, they let you play it for a little while, and then they're like, oh, you gotta buy this. You can play it for a little while, I'll get you hooked, but then you have to buy it. Okay, what about print ads? Anybody say print ads? Why would print ads be, yes, Hallie?
Older people.
Okay, older people, yeah. Okay, so what about the newspaper? There could be, there's all kinds of stuff in the newspaper. So there's advertising in the newspaper. People sell their land, or they're wanting people to come and sign up for jobs or whatever. So they're advertising for jobs for people to come in. So print, newspaper would be one. What else? Can we think of anything else for print? What would catch our eye if we saw something just in print? What would catch our eye? Yes, Zach.
A puzzle.
A puzzle? Okay, so, how? Like, do you like puzzles? Is puzzles something you like? Okay, so maybe a print ad about puzzles. Okay, so that would be, probably colorful. So a print ad that's really colorful. Yes, Tyler, what's it?
Bold letters.
Bold letters. So something that's easy to see that we're not having to squint to look at. Yes, Tammy.
Bold statements saying like Trump wins.
Okay, so bold statements to catch our attention. Good. Yes, Madison, we'll do one more.
Multicolored words.
Multicolored words. So color, really, I'm hearing a lot of color for all of these. A lot of visuals. Okay, what about the radio? How could the radio influence advertising, Tyler?
Gets louder.
It gets louder? Okay. What's one for radio?
Like you don't know what's going on, all of a sudden you're just like boom or whatever.
So the radio can kind of inform us of things too? Okay, yeah. Kimmy?
You can hear their excitement about it.
Yes, you can hear their excitement. So whereas in print you're just reading it and you try to give your own enthusiasm, but on the radio you can hear their enthusiasm. Yes, Madison.
Since a radio doesn't have a screen, it just describes the item briefly and it makes you more curious.
Okay, good. So a radio doesn't have a screen, and she said it describes the item, so it makes you more curious when they just describe an item. Okay. Those were all really, really good. So as we're talking about these, I want you all to be writing them down, okay? So I see everybody writing, so keep writing. That's great. Okay, so for number 3, based on your current knowledge, how would you answer these questions? So it's asking, how would you answer questions A and B? Based on your current knowledge. We've not talked about this yet, but how would you answer them? You guys can tell me. We'll do this one out loud. So how would you answer? Don't worry about looking at them. Just tell me, based off of your current knowledge, how would you answer questions if you didn't know anything else? What would you use?
Propaganda.
Content, so your knowledge that you already have. So based off of your current knowledge, what you already know about this topic, you would use that. So you could say current knowledge. Okay, so for A, what role does advertising play in the lives of youth? Okay, what role, Lindsay?
It makes them want what they're selling.
Okay, so it makes kids want what they're selling. Okay, what's something else, Tyler?
What else was I gonna say?
If it comes back to you, let me know. That.
It can also be very, very annoying if it pops up several times.
Okay, so it can be very annoying if it pops up several times. Okay, so What else, Hallie?
Educational advertisements like I use them now to make children learn.
Okay, good. So, Hallie said educational, like ABC Mouse, like for the younger children. I think it's more a target at parents. Hey, you can buy this and your child will be a genius. They want to sell those educational games, and of course every parent wants their child to do good in school and all of that. So let's see, what about B? What makes an effective argument? Madison.
Multiple facts about what you're trying to argue about.
Multiple facts about what you're trying to argue about. So if you had multiple facts, what would that be considered? Proof. Yeah. So you have proof. You have facts that back up your part of the argument. Yes, Mr. Rib.
A lawyer can make an effective argument.
A lawyer can make an effective argument. Yes, they do argue very well. But how do they argue that well? What makes a good argument? What, aside from facts and proof? Yes, Landon. Knowledge. So your knowledge on that topic. In order to argue, you're going to have to know a little bit about what you're arguing. Yes, Tamara. Your opinion, yeah. So just like whenever we ask opinion questions, me and Miss Cecil say the opinion can be either way, but you have to explain. You have to give your proof. You have to say why and support why that's your opinion. So argue why that's your opinion. Good. Okay. So what we're going to do now, let's look at number 1 under lesson 1. Okay, who wants to read that for me? Big and loud. Quincy, read that for me.
In this part of the unit, you'll be reading informational text based on prior knowledge. How do you think informational texts are different from fictional texts?
Okay, so how do we think informational texts are different than fictional? What's fiction? Anna? Okay, so fiction is fake. Okay, so how would that be different than an informational text? Micah? You don't? Okay. Tell us, how could that be different?
They thought that special font, visuals, or
Okay, that could be. Let's think an informational text. What are they providing us with, Tyler?
Information.
Information. What kind of information?
Any type of information.
Is it true or false? Since fiction is not real, what about informational? True. So informational texts are going to give us true information. Yes, Kimmy?
On a specific subject, it gives you information.
Yeah, it gives us information on a specific subject or something certain they want us to know about. So informational gives us information. So that one's really easy. That one's easy to remember. So, the difference between our informational and fiction is, who can tell me now? I want to see lots of hands because everybody should be able to tell me. Lots of hands. Harrison, what's the difference between informational and fiction?
Fiction's not real.
And informational?
Is real.
Good. That's it. Fiction is not real. Informational is. Okay, great. Went back one. Sorry. Okay, what I want you to do now is read through your article and number your paragraphs while you're reading, okay? If you come upon an unfamiliar word, underline it, okay? We're gonna be logging into our iPad. So read through your article, number your paragraphs. We'll need this for our discussion, our collaborative discussion we're gonna do on the iPads. While you're reading through, underline, circle, whatever you need to do with those unfamiliar words, hold on to them because we're gonna be asking our peers and our classmates hey, what's this word? Paragraph number 2, this word. So it's easy for someone to answer your question and tell you what the definition of that word is, okay?
No.
Okay, so this is 5th period. This is what you will be putting into your iPad. So you directly put it into Safari, okay? So this is after you read. So let's read. Let's take about 5-10 minutes. This article is short. So go ahead and read and underline what you need to underline. And then we'll go on to our collaborative discussion, okay? Guys, if you'll pause with me for just a second. Take your language launch out. We're going to turn them in so you do not lose them over the weekend. We're done. So just have them out and I will come by. Make sure your name is on it, okay? I don't want to give your 100 to another student, okay? You don't want me to do that either, right? You worked hard for that 100. Make sure your name is on it. I'll come by and I'll get it, okay? Yeah, after we finish reading, I'll turn it over in just a second. Okay, for those of you who are still reading, continue to read. For those of you who are finished, type this address into Safari exactly like this is up here, okay? Capital P and capital X, okay? Type that in. That's step 1. Step 2. Type your first name and your last initial in the nickname box. Do not leave a space, so put them together. Do not leave a space, okay? Miss Cecil is going to be monitoring what we put in there, so don't put your name as something silly like Big Man 125. We don't know who that is, and we cannot give you credit for today. Today, this will be a daily grade. We will be printing out the entire conversation from the classroom. to see who all contributed to the discussion. Yes.
Can we use emojis?
No, let's not use emojis. Okay, so then step 3, after you put your first name, last initial, no space, you type one example of a text feature. So one of those purple words, so we know that you are in there and you're active. So type one of the text features in and then click the Save button, okay? If you have questions, raise your hand, we'll come around. If you do not have an iPad, let me know.
Do you need one? Let me get you. Yeah, just leave it like that. See if it'll work.
Yeah, it's under the nickname. Guys, you will be typing your first name and last initial under where it says nicknamed. However, we will not be using nicknames, okay?
I'm going to read out who I have in responding. I have Hannah Parker, I have Brittany Cloud, I have Madison, I have Kenny, I have Cameron, who is going to change the name. I have Raina. I have Landon. I have Haley. Is that Haley B or Haley S? Okay. Got Cameron. Got Quincy. Yes. Is it H-A-L? I got no one's in Cameron.
Completely exit there.
I got Kyle.
Being all the way from the beginning, HTTP. Start the
Give me a text feature, not just a name. You're waiting for the type.
Okay, did you type the text feature?
Got Zach.
Go ahead and put that one in. So one of those that are in purple.
Those words are weird.
You should ask her to do exactly. You should pull them back off.
Is that what it is?
It's really messed up.
I've got Haley Stansel. I do not.
Hit refresh.
Can you text me first when you're there?
Me too.
Can we put more than one?
Unfamiliar words?
Okay, so now, once you are able to log in and you are able to talk, I want you to write and say if there were words that you were confused and you needed the definition for, type that in, and somebody from your class will answer that. These are being watched, guys, so no nonsense. Do not be silly. Okay? We will take points off. This is a learning experience for all of us. So look back through your article after you have finished reading. and the words that you underlined or circled that you did not know what they meant. Type those in there. Your peers will be able to see. Tell them what paragraph it was in. That's why we labeled our paragraph. So say paragraph 5, whatever the word was. So they know exactly where it's at and it's easy to get to. So should we be talking to our partners? No. Okay? Give me just a second. I'll get to you guys.
Give me. Thanks.
Don't put a space. Let's see if that will work.
Why did you put the wing on me?
Guys, remember, Miss Cecil is monitoring what you all are putting, so it better pertain to the class and our discussion.
Do you have me?
What did you say?
Do you have me?
What did you say? Then I don't have you till you say something. Try again. We'll get you in. That's fine. What's that?
What did you do?
It'll be all right.
Okay, I said so.
Yeah, the little bitty one. Then you didn't type in the right place.
Okay, I'm going to exit and then try it again, okay? Try it again. Guys, hey, listen. Answer these questions from your peers. Okay? No, your peers be putting questions in words that they don't let that they do not know. So find out.
message that says email me posted. Okay? I'm sorry. I'll tell you what.
Austin, you're gonna team up, okay?
Yeah, if I can't get him in, I'll team him out.
Here, right. Hey, what do you want me, Austin, to write?
Just send a message that says, do you want me Dawson? So that way I didn't
Daniel
get
and
it.
Dawson. Oh, Daniel and Who's Haley B?
Angelina, another I don't either. So, Tina and Haley beside you, and make comments together, or Tina beside you.
Okay, guys, listen. All right, this is going to be part of your daily grade. If you are not in, Miss Cecil knows who is teamed up with who because some of the iPads are being, they're little on resale. So, Miss Cecil is, there are going to be some questions that are going to show up. You each have to answer that question, okay? So, we want a response from everybody. Respond to the questions, okay? That are showing up on your screen. We'll have to have a response from each student, okay?
Okay.
If a question is asked and you might not know the answer, ask a peer. Say, hey, so-and-so, help me answer this question. Talk to each other. Okay, guys. Thank you for participating so well. What I want you all to do with the iPads, please, and this is what we ran into this class, exit completely out. Exit out of the Safari so it's completely gone, okay? Get your stuff together. There is no homework. We will finish our